And today I was able to go back through a lot of my notes and kind of formulate an opinion on what I had written down the most. This is in no specific order. Just how I write things down. Don't want you to believe that it's in one specific order. Now, maybe it is. Maybe psychologically it's what I'm doing, but it's not intentional in what I'm doing the way that I see it. So we're going to talk about 4 major points of what we've seen through the first week. O-line vastly dominating the run game. You know, that statement could have been very much changed or different if the last couple of days didn't happen in pass pro. What do I mean? What I mean is, I thought through the first 3 days that the O-line in pass pro and in the running game had dominated. But then you get into some O-line, D-line drills, and you're like, okay, I mean, they're getting a pass rush, I guess. A pass rush to some extent. Okay. But that shows a little bit of progression. That this O-line was really good last year, and they're going to be really good this year. I don't know how much to make of it when you're still running the ball at will. Not Campbell, but at will whenever you want to. I still think that this D-line has to show throughout camp. Now, we'll be at practice on Saturday, and I would assume there's going to be more of a scrimmage type of atmosphere at the end of practice. See what you look like after scrimmage 1. And for that, maybe we see more in that the D-line does from a pass rush aspect. When it's, hey, man, 1v1s, coaches are on the sideline. We're not standing behind you trying to figure things out. Let's roll. Now, Brian Kelly may be, but we're going to simulate a game here. And I'm interested to see if some of the pass rush that has happened shows up there. I don't know if it will. I really don't know if it will. What I do know is that in the running game, this O-line has dominated from the beginning of camp all the way from Thursday to Thursday. And there were multiple. So I counted at least 9 times where a running back got 10 yards plus, okay, in the first 3 days. Once some pads started coming on, it stayed the same at 9. So there have been times, guys, that in 20 carries, damn near 18 carries, you've gotten more than 10 yards, and most of them have gone to the house. Caleb Jackson is house 3 that I've seen so far this camp, at least that I've written down. At some point, you're going to have to give him the rock and let him go to work. If you're going to be 235 pounds with the speed that you're showing at the current moment, give him the rock and let him go to work. You're going to have to lean in on them. So, yeah. At the end of so that's point 1. O-line vastly dominating. I don't think it's remotely close. I think you can start leaning on some teams. We'll see. Point number 2, practices split after individual work the last 2 days. You know, I went through the last 4 practices and everything that we had written down. And there was a common theme for the last 4 days. In individual drills, offense would get them. They'd get them. Make of it what you want to make of it. Say that, well, it's benefiting to the offense in offense's favor, whatever. Doesn't matter. They were winning those reps. They were winning some 7-on-7 stuff. But you started to see as fall has gone on that secondary at times had stood up. And not only that, so had your linebacker play. You know, yesterday, Harold Perkins had a very big day. And I'm starting to question that as shit starts getting real, live bullets start flying with Blake Baker, did you teach the fundamentals and get some of those started to be locked down to where you can start implementing your defense. I'm not saying that this is fixed. I think it's going to take more than one season to fix this defense, the way that you would ultimately want your LSU defense to look like in a given year. But things have certainly picked up the last couple of days. Could you have a better overall team? I don't know that yet. Not a better team. I don't think that you are more talented at spots this year than you were a year ago. Like, for example, I think when it's all said and done, 5 years from now, we'll look back on Jane Daniels and be like, bro, what the fuck were we watching? What were we actually watching here? And then you'll put more things into perspective. I'm cautious. I'm optimistically cautious with how this team has looked. And when I do this, I want to remain cautious because I don't want bias to seep through, right? Like I want to take that as much of it out as I can. What have my eyes actually seen? I just think you'll be more balanced. I think you'll actually have more fight, determination, and will. Again, no, I don't mean Campbell. I do think at spots, at some critical spots, you have some really freaking good depth. Like, guys, let's look at the offensive line. Sure. At wide receiver, sure. I could start making the argument to some extent the same at safety. Guys, that safety room, those young dudes in that safety room, Jawan Johnson at the current moment has made me a believer. By the way, the kid did not play that position. He didn't play defense in high school. That kid has made me believe, like, oh shit, this kid can play. Let me tell you, guys, how do I want to say this? Because I don't want to put a big label on him because he is a freshman. When you're talking about just being an athlete, that dude can play. How does he tackle? I don't know. Haven't seen him in those situations. I know that brother can run, and I know that brother can play. So, with that being said, you got some pretty solid, good athletes in key positions. Deep, pause. It's what you want to. I think there comes a point that there's things that are happening that you want to see when you have an overall really good balanced team. That's what I think week 1 was. You saw flashes of being more balanced, and that is what gives me confidence. You know, if Jaden Daniels would have been going off last year and DBs were like, if what Ashton Stamps did with Kyron Lacey in the video we posted on Twitter of Kyron going up and getting one on him, guys, that's perfect coverage. There's not a lot more that I think Stamps can do there. There may be some, not a lot. Not a lot. If we would have had that last year from this LSU defense, I would have been the one that came out here and said, okay, we're winning a national title. Yeah, you're just getting beat by what might be a first-round wide receiver. You might be getting beat by somebody that is the most freakish athlete on this field, that being Brian Thomas Jr. You've just certainly been more balanced. And when you are balanced, you can you can win. You are more balanced in 22. You are more of an overall team. Got you to the same place, but you were a better overall team. In year one, people complain about the offense. In year two, under Brian Kelly, people complained about the defense. It's year three where everything starts balancing itself out. Because if it does, you can't. That means that you can make a playoff run. I'm going to skip my player of the camp through week one very quickly. I just want to run through a couple more of these. Point 4 that I had here was vastly feel better about the team chemistry on defense. Can Blake Baker turn that chemistry into success? I think this team has more chemistry and has been more together as a unit defensively than the first 2 years that they were together. I think Blake Baker has come in here and changed the morale. I think he's changed the defensive team chemistry. I think he's changed so many things about how players view football. And, hey, man, we got to learn and develop. We also got to have fun. We got to have fun. You're going to face more adversity on the field that I can throw at you. I'm not going to make your life a living hell all throughout the day. We're going to work, get better. We all want to advance. We all want to succeed. You know, I was told by somebody that was in that building that said that when Blake Baker first got there, probably one of the best quotes that I had heard, and that Blake had told the entire defense, look, man, I want to go places, and I know that you want to go places. The only thing standing in our way is not coming together and doing that together. Why are we going to fight? Why are we going to bicker? Why are we going to try to be pessimistic or be petty to one another? Let's go win this shit. Because if we all go out there and do great shit, that means we all get to where we're wanting to go. And when I was told that he had said that, I'm paraphrasing to what he had said. Paraphrasing. But when he tells them that, I see more of a defense that was more bonded this year than at any point the last 2 years. I kind of felt like they were too uptight. You know, I love Jamar Cain as an example, but remember when the guys, when they won the Cheez-It Bowl, that I think was an interception, they ran over there and they fell on the Cheez-It and they're like screaming at him, get off of that, get off of that. And I'm like, and Brian Kelly comes over and it's like, hey man, it's all right, chill out. Like we saw that on open video. Like, man, all right, okay. It's a bowl game, chill out. Shit was too twisted last year. And I'm not talking about the new movie, meaning in Twisters. Shit was twisted at times. Even though you build team chemistry, like let me give you a quick example. Like when somebody catches a pick, the entire staff is going bananas and celebrating with them. PJ Woodland had a PBU on Kyron Lacey the other day. Blake Baker ran off from the sideline and was there celebrating with him. Matt House would never. Matt House would never in a million years. With all of that being said, I don't know. I do not know if that's going to lead to team success. I don't know if that leads to defensive success. But as of right now, they are more together. The ultimate question becomes, can Blake Baker build off of that? If he can, then you might have a winner. Last point before we get to the player of the week for the first week, in my opinion. I do question if you haven't reloaded at wide receiver. What does that mean, though? You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? Are you reloaded? Do I think that you are going to have 2 first-round wide receivers? No, I do not. No, I do not. By the way, y'all saw CJ Daniels is on the Biletnikoff watch list. Watch how many CJ Daniels questions starts coming up over the next couple of weeks. Just watch. You know, I posted a video on Thursday, or on Wednesday, excuse me, of Nuss and CJ Daniels getting a throw and catch in. There were some LSU people that liked that video. There was a lot of national people that liked that video. You know who you are. All the national media heads that follow us, you know who you are. I knew why you had liked that photo or video. Can they continue to do good, especially Chris Hilton? Chris Hilton was up there in my player of the week for the first week. Let's get to that. The best player in fall camp so far through week 1, in my opinion, has got to be Ashton Stamps. And it's not because he's making every play. If I would do that, I would say probably Kyron, Chris Hilton, Will Campbell, Garrett Dellinger would be in there for me, if I'm being honest. Jordan Allen would be in there. And Jordan Allen's more in the Ashton Stamps role. Nuss would be in there at times until he makes a bad decision. There's no player on LSU's campus, in my humble opinion, that we have seen so far through a week of camp that's made a better stride than Ashton Stamps. You saw the video with him and Kyron, and you can see this for yourself. It's interesting with Ashton Stamps. Do you remember a year ago at this time? You can go and find any clips that you want. Please, I beg of you to go find these clips from this time last year about our conversation with Ashton Stamps, even during spring. I would come out here and tell you, man, Ashton Stamps, he's the best practice player in the country. Best practice player in the country. Couldn't translate it to the field. And you saw the video of him. You see multiple videos of him, multiple PBUs, an interception in the end zone or the red zone, end zone on Garrett Nussmeier that he took back for 6. You've seen those things with yourself. You saw the video of, Kyron got on him, but I mean, shit, man, that's just a really freaking good play. A really freaking good play by Kyron over Ashton. He's been the biggest surprise because, guys, he had 3 picks. 2 of them going for 6. 1 in 7-on-7. 1 in a team period. Both of them being sent to the house because he read the route correctly and was athletic enough to make a play. You know, he didn't have the oh shit moments. What do I mean? What are the oh shit moments? You know, like when you do something and like you're having success in sports and like you make a really good play and you're like, oh shit. Okay. Yeah, all right. He was ready and willing and knew he was going to make the play because he didn't let up any time that he caught those picks. None. You know, there was an in route by CJ Daniels in 7-on-7. He gets behind CJ Daniels, and as soon as Nussmeier threw it, he breaks in on CJ Daniels, cuts him off before the ball gets there. Boom. Interception, pick 6. Did the same thing on a slant. Same thing on a slant in the end zone. He has been the most developed player, whether it be strength and conditioning, whether it be whatever you want to bring, development from coaching staff, whatever, maturity, whatever you want to put your success on that kid having success, doesn't matter to me. I don't care about that. I care that he's building. I care that he's building and developing and that he looks good. So those are I said I had 4 points in the open. Those are our 5 points.